Thank you for choosing this video. Today, we will explore a book that offers us valuable lessons on happiness and inner peace, The Art of Happiness by Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler. The book is not just a philosophical work, it is also a journey into the human mind and the ways to achieve true happiness. From developing compassion to managing emotions, the book provides us with practical tools to overcome the challenges of daily life. Join me as we delve into the main content of this book and discover how each of us can create happiness in our own lives. Chapter 1: The Purpose of Life. In the first chapter, Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler pose a profound question. What is the purpose of life? This question is not only philosophical but also very practical, as it influences how we live and act every day. Dalai Lama emphasizes that the ultimate purpose of life is to seek happiness. He explains that happiness is not a temporary state or a distant goal but an essential part of human life. Everyone seeks happiness, but not everyone understands how to achieve it. This shows that the pursuit of happiness is a journey that each person must explore for themselves. Dalai Lama believes that compassion is not just a moral quality but also the foundation of happiness. He asserts that when we open our hearts and learn to love not only ourselves but also those around us, we will feel a deep connection to the world. Dalai Lama and Cutler also emphasize that to achieve happiness, we need to seek meaning in life. A meaningful life leads to greater satisfaction and lasting happiness. This can come from pursuing passions, contributing to society, or nurturing valuable relationships. This chapter encourages readers to begin their own journey in search of happiness. Self-reflecting on the purpose of life and seeking what brings joy and meaning is essential for personal development. Dalai Lama says, "Happiness is not a destination but a journey. We need to cherish every moment of life." Chapter 2: Human Happiness. In the second chapter of The Art of Happiness, Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler delve into the concept of happiness and the factors that influence this emotion. Happiness is not merely a temporary satisfaction or joyful moments. It is also a sustainable mental state that can be nurtured over time. What is happiness? Dalai Lama defines happiness as a mental state that does not solely depend on external factors like money, success, or fame. Happiness comes from within, he asserts. This means that contentment and joy do not arise from material things but from how we perceive and respond to life. The factors that create happiness. This chapter also emphasizes that happiness can be built and developed through various factors. Positive attitude. Dalai Lama believes that a positive mindset is key to achieving happiness. When you have an optimistic attitude, you will find it easier to face difficulties. Nurturing positive thoughts can help improve mood and enhance mental health. Compassion and caring. Happiness is not just a personal matter, it is also related to our relationships with others. Compassion not only helps others but also makes you feel happier. When we open our hearts and care for others, we create happiness for ourselves as well. Acceptance and overcoming difficulties. In life, challenges and suffering are inevitable. However, Dalai Lama believes that accepting and learning from these difficulties can lead to growth and happiness. Difficulties are a part of life, and learning how to face them is essential. Seeking sustainable happiness. Dalai Lama and Cutler emphasize that sustainable happiness does not happen by chance, but is the result of effort and practice. Happiness needs to be nurtured like a tree. This means we need to take care of our souls, learn and grow through life experiences. Chapter 2 not only helps us understand the concept of happiness better, but also indicates that it is a process that can be developed. This process allows us to seek happiness not just for ourselves, but also for those around us, thereby creating a more meaningful and fulfilling life. True happiness comes from acceptance, love, and personal growth every day. Chapter 3: Compassion and the Art of Happiness. In the third chapter, Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler explore the profound connection between compassion and happiness. The authors emphasize that compassion is not only an important virtue in life, but also one of the keys to achieving sustainable happiness. So, what is compassion? Dalai Lama defines compassion as a sincere concern for the happiness of others. He explains that compassion is not merely empathy or assistance, it is a deep understanding of the suffering and difficulties faced by others. Compassion is an essential part of happiness, because when we care for others, we also create a positive environment for ourselves. The impact of compassion on happiness. This chapter highlights that compassion enriches our lives in various ways, reducing feelings of loneliness. When we express compassion and connect with others, feelings of loneliness and isolation diminish. Dalai Lama believes, when you open your heart and share love, you will feel more connected to others. This connection is a significant source of happiness, enhancing satisfaction. Acts of compassion not only bring joy to the recipient but also create a sense of fulfillment for the giver. When you help others, you not only bring happiness to them but also to yourself. Developing self-awareness. Compassion also helps us gain a better understanding of ourselves and our emotions. When we confront the suffering of others, we can recognize aspects of ourselves that are often obscured. When you see the suffering of others, you become more aware of your own life. Compassion as an art. Dalai Lama and Cutler also discuss the artistic aspect of compassion. They argue that compassion is not just an act but also an art that needs to be cultivated and developed. To become a compassionate person, we need to practice continuously. This includes practicing empathy, listening, and genuinely caring for others. Chapter 3 emphasizes that compassion is not only a noble quality, but also an art that can lead to sustainable happiness. Readers are encouraged to practice compassion in their daily lives, not only for the benefit of others, but also to create happiness for themselves. Happiness comes not only from material things, but also from the deep relationships and love we share with one another. Chapter 4, Training the Mind. In the 4th chapter, Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler focus on training the mind as an essential tool for achieving happiness. This chapter emphasizes that our minds have a profound ability to influence our emotions, behaviors, and perceptions of the world. The power of the mind. Dalai Lama asserts that the mind is the source of both happiness and suffering. Happiness does not come from external things, but from within our minds. This means that training the mind to develop positive thoughts and overcome negative thinking is crucial. Techniques for training the mind. Meditation. Dalai Lama encourages the practice of meditation as a way to calm the mind and develop concentration. Meditation is a powerful method for training the mind. Through meditation, we can learn to observe and control our thoughts, thereby creating a more peaceful mind. Mindfulness. The practice of mindfulness, or living in the moment, is also emphasized. Mindfulness helps us gain clarity about our thoughts and feelings, Dalai Lama explains. When we pay attention to the present, we find it easier to process emotions and make sound decisions. Positive thinking. An important part of training the mind is developing positive thinking. Try to find the positive aspect in every situation. Instead of focusing on the negatives, shift your mind toward the good, thereby creating a more optimistic view of life. Dealing with negative emotions. Dalai Lama also discusses how to cope with negative emotions such as anger, anxiety, and disappointment. Rather than letting these emotions control us, we should learn to observe and understand them. Recognizing and accepting negative emotions can help us manage them more effectively. Training the mind as a continuous process. Finally, the authors emphasize that training the mind is a continuous process without an endpoint. We need to work hard to develop our minds, Dalai Lama affirms. This includes regularly practicing meditation, mindfulness, and cultivating positive thinking. Chapter 4 offers deep insights into training the mind as a key to achieving happiness. Here, readers are encouraged not only to seek happiness from external sources but also from their own minds. Sustainable happiness can be built through patience and effort in training the mind, opening the door to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Chapter 5, Overcoming Anxiety and Anger. In the 5th chapter, Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler focus on two common but negative emotions that many people face: anxiety and anger. This chapter explores the origins of these emotions and provides methods for overcoming them, aiming for a happier life. The origins of anxiety and anger. Dalai Lama explains that anxiety and anger often stem from a lack of control and fear of uncertainty in life. When we feel unable to control a situation, anxiety arises. Similarly, anger often appears when we feel threatened or hurt. Techniques for overcoming anxiety. Identifying emotions. An important step in overcoming anxiety is to recognize and acknowledge one's own emotions. When you realize you are anxious, you have taken the first step toward addressing it, Dalai Lama emphasizes. Acknowledging emotions helps us confront them proactively. Mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness can help calm the mind and reduce feelings of anxiety. Focus on the present instead of worrying about the future. By living in the current moment, we can alleviate anxiety and feel more at peace. Seeking solutions. Instead of letting anxiety dominate, Dalai Lama encourages readers to seek solutions to the issues causing anxiety. If you can change something, do it. If not, accept it. Taking initiative to address problems can help reduce anxiety. Techniques for overcoming anger. Controlling reactions. Anger often leads to misguided actions and decisions. Learn to control your reactions when you feel angry. Pausing to think before acting can help prevent negative responses. Practicing compassion. Showing compassion not only towards others, but also towards oneself is an effective way to reduce anger. When you understand that everyone makes mistakes, you will find it easier to forgive. Nurturing compassion can help soothe negative emotions. Seeking understanding. Dalai Lama also emphasizes the importance of understanding the root causes of anger. Ask yourself, what is really making you angry? When we understand the underlying reasons, we can manage our emotions more effectively. Chapter 5 provides practical tools for overcoming anxiety and anger. Readers are encouraged to develop awareness of their own emotions and practice compassion. By applying these techniques, we can lead a more peaceful and happier life, effectively facing life's challenges. Chapter 6, Happiness and Suffering. In the 6th chapter, Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler explore the complex relationship between happiness and suffering. They emphasize that suffering is unavoidable in life, but how we perceive and respond to suffering can determine our level of happiness. Suffering as a natural part of life. Dalai Lama begins this chapter by asserting that suffering is an inseparable part of the human experience. Suffering is a reality that we all must face. Accepting suffering as a natural part of life helps us confront it more calmly. Happiness is not a permanent state. Dalai Lama points out that happiness is not a permanent state, but a temporary feeling. Happiness and suffering are always changing, he explains. Understanding that happiness can come and go helps us avoid becoming overly dependent on positive emotions. Perspectives on suffering. A highlight of this chapter is the shift in perspective regarding suffering. Dalai Lama suggests that suffering can become a valuable teacher if we learn from it. Suffering can help us develop compassion and understanding. When we experience suffering, we have the opportunity to grow in empathy for others who are also suffering. Coping with suffering. Accepting suffering. Dalai Lama encourages readers to accept suffering rather than resist it. When you accept the reality of suffering, it becomes easier to find solutions. Accepting suffering allows us to face it more effectively. Seeking meaning. Another way to overcome suffering is to seek meaning in difficult experiences. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this suffering? When we seek meaning, suffering can become an opportunity for growth. Nurturing compassion. Developing compassion during difficult times is also very important. Remember that everyone has to endure suffering. This understanding can help us feel more connected to others, thereby reducing personal pain. Chapter 6 provides deep insights into the relationship between happiness and suffering. Readers are encouraged to accept suffering as an essential part of life. By changing our perspective on suffering, we can find opportunities to cultivate compassion and happiness, even in the toughest of times. Chapter 7, The Importance of Relationships. In the 7th chapter, Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler explore the importance of relationships in building lasting happiness. This chapter emphasizes that humans are social creatures, and connections with others can profoundly affect our emotions and quality of life. Relationships and happiness. Dalai Lama asserts that relationships play an essential role in achieving happiness. Connecting with others not only brings joy, but also helps us feel safe and loved. Happiness comes not only from personal success, but also from harmony and bonding with those around us. Positive relationships. This chapter highlights the importance of building and maintaining positive relationships. Dalai Lama emphasizes that good relationships can help us overcome difficulties, providing support and inspiration. A positive relationship can give you strength and motivation. Compassion in relationships. Compassion is viewed as a crucial factor in building and sustaining relationships. Compassion helps us understand and empathize with others. When we practice compassion, we not only improve our relationships but also create a harmonious and loving environment. Communication skills. This chapter also addresses the importance of communication in relationships. Dalai Lama encourages active listening and sharing thoughts openly. Communication is the key to understanding one another and building strong relationships. Maintaining openness and honesty in communication can help prevent misunderstandings and conflicts. Dealing with conflict. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship. Dalai Lama advises that when facing conflict, we should seek to resolve it calmly and compassionately. Instead of letting conflict cause pain, see it as an opportunity to understand each other better. Through debates, we can discover common ground and strengthen our connections. Chapter 7 provides deep insights into the importance of relationships in our lives. Readers are encouraged to build and maintain positive relationships, practice compassion, improve communication skills, and effectively handle conflicts. By focusing on relationships, we can find lasting happiness and meaning in life. Chapter 8. The Role of the Mind. In the 8th chapter, Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler focus on the important role of the mind in shaping emotions and human experiences of happiness. This chapter emphasizes that the mind is not just a tool but an essential part of building a fulfilling and happy life. The mind as the foundation of happiness. Dalai Lama asserts that happiness comes from within, and the mind plays a decisive role in perceiving and experiencing happiness. Happiness does not come from external conditions but from how we perceive and respond to life. This means that the way we think and feel can make a significant difference in our experience of happiness. The power of positive thinking. One of the highlights of this chapter is the importance of positive thinking. Dalai Lama encourages readers to develop a habit of positive thinking and to view the world around them optimistically. Positive thinking not only helps lift your mood but also improves mental health. By changing our perspective on life, we can enhance the quality of our lives. Coping with negative thoughts. However, the mind is not always positive. This chapter also addresses negative thoughts and difficult emotions that we face. Dalai Lama advises that instead of letting negative thoughts dominate, we should learn to identify and manage them. Remember that you are not a victim of your mind. You have the power to change the way you think. Recognizing negative thoughts and replacing them with positive ones is an important step in improving mood and happiness. Practicing mindfulness. Dalai Lama also emphasizes the importance of mindfulness practice in managing the mind. Mindfulness helps you recognize thoughts and feelings without judgment, thereby helping you maintain a steady mind in daily life. Practicing mindfulness not only enhances awareness, but also helps us better control our emotions. Connecting mind and emotions. Finally, this chapter highlights the connection between the mind and emotions. Dalai Lama points out that the mind has the power to create emotions, and these emotions can affect our mind. Be aware that you have the power to control your mind and emotions. By grasping this connection, we can learn to cultivate positive emotions and minimize negative ones. Chapter 8 provides deep insights into the role of the mind in building happiness. Readers are encouraged to develop habits of positive thinking, practice mindfulness, and manage their emotions effectively. By mastering the mind, we can find lasting happiness and live a more meaningful life. Chapter 9. The Art of Happiness in Daily Life. In the 9th chapter, Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler explore how to apply the principles of happiness in daily life. This chapter emphasizes that happiness is not a destination but a journey, and small actions in everyday life can make a significant difference in our sense of happiness. Happiness is a journey. Dalai Lama asserts that happiness is not a fixed state, but a continuous process. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. This means we need to actively seek happiness in each moment of life, rather than waiting for a specific time to feel happy. Practicing daily compassion. One of the most effective ways to feel happier in everyday life is to practice compassion. When you show compassion to others, you also nurture happiness within yourself. Small acts like helping others, listening, and sharing joyful moments can create deep connections and bring a sense of fulfillment. Living in the present. This chapter also emphasizes the importance of living in the present. Dalai Lama advises that instead of worrying about the future or regretting the past, we should focus on what is happening right now. Only the present offers you the opportunity to act and feel. When we live in the present, we can enjoy life more and reduce stress. Managing emotions. To maintain happiness in daily life, managing emotions is crucial. Dalai Lama encourages people to identify and face difficult emotions. Learn to regulate your emotions rather than letting them control you. Practicing mindfulness can help us become more attuned to our emotions and find positive ways to address them. Connecting with others. Dalai Lama also emphasizes that connecting with others is essential for finding happiness. Good relationships not only provide support but also serve as a source of inspiration in your life. Spending time with family, friends, and the community can bring joy and comfort to daily life. Chapter 9 offers practical insights into applying the art of happiness in everyday life. Readers are encouraged to practice compassion, live in the present, manage emotions, and connect with others. By actively seeking happiness in each moment, we can live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Chapter 10. Happiness is a choice. In the conclusion of The Art of Happiness, Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler emphasize that happiness is not a random occurrence but a conscious choice that each of us must make. Happiness depends not only on external conditions or circumstances, but also on how we decide to perceive and respond to life. Personal decision. Dalai Lama asserts that everyone has the right and ability to create happiness for themselves. Happiness starts from within, from the choices we make every day. This means that instead of waiting for good things to come from the outside, we should proactively seek and create happiness in our lives. Attitude and thinking. One of the key points in Dalai Lama's perspective is the attitude we choose to face life. The way you perceive the world can determine your happiness. When we change our thinking from negative to positive, we can experience better emotions and mental states. Practical actions. Happiness is not just an abstract concept. It is also the result of specific actions we take. Dalai Lama advises practicing compassion, sharing love, and connecting with others. Happiness comes not only from seeking oneself but also from helping and connecting with others. Small daily actions can bring great joy and fulfillment. Facing challenges. Life is not always easy and difficulties are inevitable. However, how we face these challenges will determine our sense of happiness. View each difficulty as an opportunity to grow and learn. When we learn to turn challenges into motivation, we will feel happier. The importance of happiness. Finally, Dalai Lama emphasizes that happiness is not only a personal goal, but also something that can spread to the community. When each person finds happiness in their lives, it creates a positive impact on those around them. When you are happy, you will make the world around you happier as well. In concluding The Art of Happiness, we are left with a powerful message. Happiness is a choice. Readers are encouraged to choose happiness in each moment, from how we perceive life to the specific actions we take daily. By being clearly aware of the power of choice, we can live a meaningful and fulfilling life. Thank you for watching the summary video of The Art of Happiness by Dalai Lama and Howard Cutler. Through the chapters, we have explored the core principles of happiness together, from identifying the purpose of life, developing compassion, to managing our minds and emotions in daily life. The book not only offers profound philosophies, but also provides practical lessons that help us choose happiness in each moment. As Dalai Lama said, happiness is a choice. Remember that every day is an opportunity for us to practice these principles, allowing us to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. If you found the video content useful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below the video. Let's spread the message of happiness and compassion to those around us. Thank you for watching and see you in the next videos.